Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. Continuing our top 15 series, we've got something special lined up for you today. I know so many of you have been asking for a customer reviews analysis for this one. Well, we're finally doing it. But before we get into that, don't forget to check this exclusive discount for it. You can find the link in both the video description and the top comment below. Now, let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Starting things off, our first reviewer gives us their perspective.
This reviewer opens with the bold claim that when they hold this gaming mouse, it practically aims itself for the perfect headshot. While initially hyperbolic, their experience seems to justify the excitement, though not without some serious reservations about its design. At first glance, this client was unimpressed. Placed next to another popular lightweight model, this mouse looked dated, almost like a design from 2 decades ago. The aesthetic issues continued with the lighting, which our reviewer found to be non-uniform and poorly implemented compared to its competitors. The texture of the peripheral also felt like cheap plastic, lacking the premium finish of other, even less expensive, options they had used before. It simply failed to make a good first impression from a visual or tactile standpoint. However, any disappointment in the aesthetics vanished once they launched a first-person shooter. Our reviewer notes that while the shape felt odd at first, leaving them unsure of how to properly grip it, their in-game tracking saw an immediate and noticeable improvement. The device seemed to become a natural extension of their hand, allowing them to aim so intuitively that they could allocate more mental energy to game sense and overall strategy. It wasn't just helping them aim better, it was making them a smarter player. That isn't to say it's without quirks. The left mouse button exhibits a strange, forceful pop back when pressed down hard, an issue this client primarily notices while sniping. Furthermore, due to its specialized and somewhat awkward shape, they caution that it is strictly a tool for gaming and not comfortable for productivity. Ultimately, for a gamer who uses a fingertip grip and prioritizes raw performance above all else, this mouse proved to be a game changer, becoming their new primary peripheral despite its flaws.
Great! Now let's see what our next reviewer has to say about their experience.
This reviewer was initially skeptical, but ultimately impressed by this pointing device. Having logged countless hours in competitive shooters, our reviewer had drifted from consistent play. When returning to a favorite title, they decided to try this mouse after seeing some online content and doing some research. They knew going in that it would require a complete shift to a fingertip grip and likely some initial discomfort. Indeed, for the first week, they struggled with reverting to their old grip and experienced some strain while adapting. However, once the adjustment period passed, this client saw a noticeable improvement in aim trainer scores compared to their previous mouse and grip. Since then, they've used this mouse daily and are surprised to find it incredibly comfortable, especially considering they have slightly larger hands and had spent years using a palm grip. The reviewer also mentioned a minor issue they encountered, but the product support team was incredibly helpful and resolved everything quickly. For those considering this mouse, the reviewer offers a few tips. First, consciously position your fingertips at the front of the mouse. This takes getting used to, but it's crucial to maximizing the design's benefits. Second, embrace the unique shape and avoid forcing your old grip. However, they also emphasize that everyone's hands are different. While they initially tried to replicate the grip shown in online videos, they ultimately found more comfort and improved aim by finding their own natural grip for this device. Finally, the reviewer suggests pairing this mouse with a low-friction mousepad, especially for gamers who prefer lower sensitivity settings. In conclusion, if this sounds like too much effort, this mouse might not be the right fit. But if you're willing to tackle the initial challenge, the reviewer believes it's well worth it, even for intermediate players.
Wonderful. Now, let's explore the feedback from our next reviewer.
This reviewer was pleasantly surprised by this mouse. Honestly, our reviewer picked it up on a whim, thinking it would just be a fun gaming peripheral, but it ended up becoming their everyday mouse despite a few drawbacks. The first thing you notice is the design. It's definitely eye-catching and unlike anything you'd see from the mainstream brands. It's a small mouse and the unique shape isn't going to be for everyone. Palm grip users might struggle to find a comfortable position. However, this client really liked the feel of the switches and found the cable to be light and flexible, which made movement easy. Even the RGB lighting, which this reviewer usually dislikes, was surprisingly appealing with its default pattern. There are lots of different lighting options, too. One thing to be aware of is that there's no dedicated software. You can update the firmware from the manufacturer's website, but it's not open source, so the mouse isn't programmable at all. This is a bit of a letdown considering the price, but this reviewer has gotten used to it. The biggest issue by far is the scroll wheel. Our reviewer really dislikes it. It's positioned too low, making it awkward to use for long scrolls. The texture is too smooth and the edges are rounded, so there's barely any tactile feedback. Plus, the middle button requires too much force to press comfortably. Despite the scroll wheel issues, this reviewer would recommend this mouse, especially for fingertip or claw grip gamers, and even those palm grippers who are open to trying something new. Our reviewer has seen improvements in their aim since switching to it. Hopefully, the manufacturer will address the scroll wheel in future versions and consider adding some level of programmability.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this, hit like, subscribe, and let me know what you think in the comments. Catch you in the next one.